It presses its forehead against your hand and holds it there for 3 seconds. Then it moves away. You may have interpreted this as the cat wanting more pets, or as the cat simply rubbing an itch, or as nothing in particular, just a cat being a cat. All three of those interpretations miss something. What just happened was a deliberate act of social communication using a chemical vocabulary that is entirely invisible to human senses and absolutely legible to any other cat in range. Your British Shorthair's face contains 5 types of scent glands. What happens when it rubs its head on you is not random, not accidental. It is one of the most direct statements this breed makes, translated from the chemical language cats use to describe their world into a physical gesture you can feel. Like this video now. The science behind this behavior is the kind of thing that makes every future head rub feel completely different. Cats have 7 different types of scent-secreting glands on their bodies. The ones relevant to head rubbing are concentrated on the face, perioral glands near the mouth and chin, temporal glands on the sides of the forehead, and the interdigital glands on the cheeks. Each area produces pheromones with distinct chemical compositions that serve different social function. When your British Shorthair presses the top of its skull or its forehead against you, the bunting gesture, it is depositing pheromones from the temporal glands. These are the glands associated specifically with social affiliation. They are not the same glands a cat uses to mark territory against a doorframe. They're not the same glands used in cheek rubbing on objects for ownership marking. The temporal gland deposit is a social deposit, a chemical declaration about a relationship. Between cats in a colony, bunting is exclusively a behavior between individuals that have established a positive social bond. The more dominant, confident member of a bonded pair typically initiates bunting toward the other. It creates what researchers call a communal scent, a shared chemical signature that marks both individuals as members of the same social group. When your British Shorthair bunts you, it is placing you in its social group, not as property. That's the cheek rub on furniture. As companion, as member. The perioral glands, near the corners of the mouth and chin, produce pheromones associated with contentment and calm, the feel-away F3 fraction in the commercial approximation. When your British Shorthair rubs its chin or mouth area against you, it is depositing a chemical associated with its own positive emotional state. The behavior is essentially the cat mixing its contentment signal with your presence. You become associated with the experience of being at ease. The cheek rub, pressing the entire side of the face along your leg or arm, combines multiple gland types simultaneously. It is the most comprehensive version of the facial marking gesture. British Shorthairs that perform this full cheek press are delivering the most complete version of the social statement. I know you. I trust you. You are mine in the social sense. I am comfortable here. There is also an allo-rubbing behavior, the full body rub where the cat presses its side against your leg while walking past. This combines facial pheromones with the flank scent and the base of tail glands. It is a greeting gesture borrowed directly from cat-to-cat colony behavior. When cats do this to each other, they are exchanging identity information and reinforcing social bonds simultaneously. When your British Shorthair does it to you, you're being greeted the way a trusted colony member would be greeted. One thing that matters specifically for the British Shorthair: this breed does not perform these behaviors indiscriminately. British Shorthairs are selective. They reserve the face rub, the bunt, the full cheek press for the people and objects that hold genuine social significance to them. Unlike more effusive breeds that may rub on strangers or novelties, the British Shorthair's head rub tends to be pointed and specific. The person who receives it regularly is receiving information about their status in the cat's social world. The reciprocity dimension is worth noting. When you pet your British Shorthair's face, particularly the temporal area at the top of the forehead and the cheeks, you're activating the same glands it uses for its own rubbing behavior. The cat's closing of its eyes during this contact, the slight pressing into your hand, the slowing of its movements, these are responses to the physical activation of glands that produce pleasurable neurochemical effects. Head pets feel good to cats in a biologically specific way, not just from the pressure. And the repeated bunt, the cat coming back to press its forehead against you again several times in a session, is the cat actively distributing its social scent, refreshing the deposit, maintaining the chemical record of the relationship. It's not repetitive affection seeking, it's methodical. It's the cat doing something it considers important. The next time your British Shorthair presses its forehead against your hand, something precise is happening. A deposit is being made. A relationship is being declared in a language older than any spoken word. The cat's social world has a record, chemical and real, of who you are to it. That record is maintained every time it happens.